Still got it. And lost it. Is that where you're all sassy today?
Yes.
I figured you would. Alright.
Did you hear what I wrote, or did you see what I mouthed or? Yeah. I think I get it. I thought it was kind of funny, and I was like, I thought he was going to kick you out of the hall. I was like, oh. That's awkward. Well, it's awkward for most people when it's just like dead silent. Yeah, why is that awkward?
Jude's a little on the edge today.
She is. Oh, man, I guess we'll have to do something. No, like, this feels so good right now.
Was just a quick fast break. It's usually like when we have a little I'm no break calls here. And what we want is like, so like Nicole or Mason takes out and throws some kids in that.
I'm going to listen to thing for the vomit up.
I want
I'm going to play sentences and then listen to what we're saying.
The other post over here, the other guard over here. We don't need more. Okay, and all I want Jay to do is for them with all the guards and run and post. So here's yeah, this Nicole would trail behind her, and then these girls forward. All I want is just a quick play to get Jay to get a post up play, so she, like, no one's in the lane, so she's just going to be her by herself. So that's all it was. So, it's one of those quick things. The problem is, I don't know if it's going to work tonight, because they're going to run a 2-3 on us.
Yeah, what's it called, though?
We call it column.
Okay, good, because Allison said something about, like, she said it was called something, but she didn't specify that that was the coaches called it. But
I was just play it. I put it in front of me.
Morning. I don't get it.
Mason Word and Kathy Eichmann, please come to the office.
You don't have to go tomorrow, but if you want, you can still go to the school. Breakfast you can see, yeah. I'm joking.
Here's what I'll do. When I close tomorrow, I'll meet you on my break. I'll be there for like 20, 25 minutes, and then I can go back.
I'll work. We'll try to get pizza.
And I'll bring like, what, $2?
We'll shoot for 8.
She said you could be a thrower.
$8?
8 o'clock.
Oh.
I know. I know.
Because I go on break at like 7:30ish, but I can put it off till 8.
What?
Check them out. We're done.
I guess. True. Do you? What? Do you? Yeah. Right. You realize? Question. Yeah, no, we're done. No. I haven't started yet. That's nice. Does it take a long time to do?
Oh, yeah.
I had to go in the back side. Yeah, great game today. Yeah. I was signed the oil pipeline.
it's already oil pipeline, sorry. It's already rerouted.
So if it breaks, are you saying that?
I'm saying it's still a terrible idea.
So I will still sign it.
You're still signing it, sign it.
Dude.
I
hit my elbow. Have you seen my house? I just see, yes. Oh, star. I guarantee you. What?
Oh, me and Jack was out. What do you know? Me and Jack were sleeping.
They're not enough for me to get rid of
Sorry, you know we go way back.
Way back.
We go
All
way
right.
back.
Okay, hey, book check. I'm gonna call your book. I'm gonna call your name. I like your book. Book number, whatnot. So.
Mr. Ward.
Hey, that's it.
I'm kidding.
You're already in.
I've got brownies.
All right, Jonah.
Number 6. Alright, then you don't want to book show me.
Taylor. 609. Connor. Nope. Desi.
4.
4. Cassie.
Hold on.
Okay. Good.
26.
07.
Let's see. Come on.
I woke up. I don't know.
39.
Stressed out.
M. Nick.
I'm the only one that has a CD.
Connor. Oh,
I don't have a CD.
It doesn't work. Okay, Connor.
I kept waking up like,
You have
I woke up at 1, 2,
2.
4.
Let's see. Amity. Ethan. Overman.
Wait.
What?
Is that right? How do you know? Okay, I don't have my book.
Start. Oh, yeah.
I've got brownies.
Nope.
10,565,000.
500,000.
I thought it was 73. What did I say? Oh, 500.
Hey. Let's see. Let's see, Jackie.
22.
All right. Let's see. Any skip over anyone in here?
Oh, you skipped over time. Yeah. That's a second try. It's not bad. It's not going to get rid of it.
Oh, it's in your back.
There.
Oh, wow. All right. Which book?
73.
Tyler, sure.
No. That's not a good time book. No, it is not.
Okay, all right. Okay, we got a bunch of problems to do here. I want to basically go over the Descartes rule of sign. That's what we're going to go over first. I'm basically just going to put a bunch of examples across the board. We're going to do the Descartes rule of sign to each problem so we get multiple times where we can practice it. Then we're going to take one of the problems and we're going to find the actual roots. Does that make sense? So I think the goal today is to really practice this. We've already went over, how to guess numbers that can work, use your calculator to figure out where the zeros are. But the Descartes rule of sign is that thing that we just started yesterday. So I have a bunch picked out. I'll kind of give random scatter of them. Here's our first one. Okay, as we go through, I'm going to try to go through maybe 4 of these, going across the board. All right, so x to the 4th plus 19x to the 3rd plus 128x squared plus 356x plus 336. Okay. All right. As you can see, crazy numbers. I made these problems kind of randomly, just so we can practice this Descartes rule of sign. That's what I want to. That's what I want to go over. Okay. Now, how this works? The Descartes rule of sign is just a simple check we do at the beginning of a problem. That's it. It's just a check. It's not going to magically give us answers. It can definitely help us though, and I want to explain it. All right. So, like when we first look at this problem, right? What you're supposed to do, this is my polynomial, to find how many positive roots, positive numbers, will be on this problem. What you do is you start at the beginning, right here, and you bunny leave, and you see how many times did it switch signs from positive numbers to negative numbers. 0, right? As I go and I bunny leave from number to number to number, it never switched from positive to negative numbers, correct? That means there's 0 positive real numbers where this thing will hit the x-axis. Does that make sense now? So, when I'm doing that rational root, or the rational zero theorem, right, finding zeros, don't even check the positives. It's pointless. There's 0 of them. I shouldn't even check them in the first place. So it saves you time. I can throw out half of them right away.
Okay, now to find negatives, how many times or how many different numbers will be negative for the roots? That's where now what we have to do is we have to plug in negative x and everything. So it's like the symmetry test, if you can remember that. So I'm going to do the symmetry test right here off to the side. So plugging in a negative x into all of this. Okay, so now that I've plugged in negative x into all the spots where there's x's, I simplify it by, if it's an even power, the negative sign cancels out. If it's an odd power, the negative sign goes to the outside. Even power, the negative sign cancels out. Odd power, the negative sign goes to the outside. And the 336 doesn't even change because it's a whole number. All right. At this point, now we start at the beginning and I count how many times did the sign switch. So we're starting here. 1, 2, 3, 4. It switched 4 times. The sign's going from positive to negative numbers. So that means there's potential to have 4 negative numbers that are actual roots of this problem. 4 negatives. Now, what we talked about yesterday is that this number could go down by evens. So it could be 4 or 2 or 0. There could be 4 numbers that are negatives where it actually hits the x-axis. It could be 2 negative numbers, or it could be 0 negative numbers. And what we do is we set up a chart to see kind of like what the potentials are here. And this is a chart that we do right at the end of the problem. The chart represents positive numbers, negatives, and imaginary numbers. And what we do is we plug these numbers on the chart and we make every combination possible. So we know that there's no chance that there's going to be positive numbers. We just know that they're all zeros. Now, however many rows or columns I'll need, okay? Or rows, going this way. So I'm just going to put zeros all the way in. There's no positive numbers. Now for negatives, I could have 4, 2, or 0. So it doesn't look like I'll need this 4th row here. And then what we do is we just need to make sure that when you go straight across to find how many roots there are, like what the roots actually are, these numbers going across have to add up to be your biggest power. So what's my biggest power in this problem? There's 4 roots for this problem. It hits the x-axis 4 times, potentially. So when we go across, do these add up to make 4? Yes, so there's 0 left over for imaginary. There's like no imaginary numbers in my problem, potentially. Okay, what about here? What do these add up to make? 2. So that means there's 2 left over. So 2 numbers could be imaginary in this problem. Or on the bottom row, since these add up to be 0, there could be potentially 4 imaginary numbers. 4 imaginary, so it won't hit the x-axis anywhere. Now, here's the thing. Why there could be literally no numbers where it hits the x-axis. Because I know some people look at it and go, that isn't possible. It has to hit it somewhere. Since it's an even power, the tails go the same direction. Right? Go the same direction. So what if it started way, way above the x-axis? Like way, way, way above. So, it did something like this. So it didn't hit the x-axis anywhere. So there's that potential because the tails go the same direction since it's an even power. Okay, so that was the idea. Some people don't realize that. All right, now this check is just to help us because just looking at this can tell us that we don't need to waste time checking positive numbers when we get to that rational 0 here. I can just avoid that. It saves a lot of time. Okay, any questions with the curse rule of sign? It doesn't really give you answers. It just helps you eliminate some. So I don't have to check. Questions, comments about that? Okay, let's try another one. I'm just going to put another one on the board. Kind of the same structure. In fact, I might pick kind of a smaller problem so it's not so big. Okay. Let's go with this one. All right, so same thing again. We'll start with count how many times how many times the sign switch. Figure out positive numbers. So let's do that first. Okay, so positive numbers. So we start here in the beginning. Let's count how many times does it switch signs?
One.
Once. Went from positive 1 to negative. So it switched once. So there's one positive number where it hits the x-axis. Only one. Now, can I go down by any evens here? No, because it'll turn out to be negatives. We can't do it. All right, so there's only one positive number that's going to work. Okay? So once you find it, let's say that you're doing let's say you're doing the zero theorem, and you find like a positive number that works. You probably shouldn't check for any more of them. So you can cross all the rest of them. So the rest of the numbers will be negatives. That's kind of the idea. Okay, now to check for negative roots, negative x-intercepts, negative numbers, right? We do that. We do the symmetry test. So I take my problem and I plug in negative x's to everything. So plug in negative x's into everything, and I check what we're going to have here. Okay, so if it's an even powers, the negative sign cancels. If it's an odd power, the negative sign goes to the outside. So negative sign here goes to the outside. Negative sign here cancels because it's power 2, so I just have negative x squared. Negative sign here goes to the outside. And this one stays in here. Okay, now let's count how many times does it switch signs. As we go from here, so I'm going to start here and I'm going to bounce. How many times does it switch? Twice. It goes from negative here, so that's one switch, and it goes back. So that's 2 switches. So there could be potentially 2 negative numbers that work on this problem, or 0, because I'm going down by evens. So these are my combinations, and now I can set up my little table, my little chart. So checking like what the actual roots are for this chart: positive, negative, and imaginary. Right? We know that the positives are just 1. We know that. However many ones only, I can go down all day with this. But for negatives, it's 2 or 0, and then so it doesn't look like I'll need my 3rd row here. And all I need to make sure is when I go across, what do these have to add up to be? 3. I think it's power. So these already add up to be 3, so that means there's 0 imaginary left over, or this bottom row, I need 2 imaginary. So these are my potentials for that problem. So it looks like I'm definitely going to need to find a positive number for sure. I don't know about the negative stuff. That could be 0 over 2. Okay, we start to figure this out a little bit. Okay, I'm going to give you one right now. I want you to see if you can do it by yourself. I'm going to just give you an easy one, not like something crazy hard, but just kind of an easy one to start with. Okay, all right. Let's see if you can do one of these, something simple. Okay, there's your problem right there. I want to see if you can figure out, the potential for roots, positive, negatives, whatever.
Good for 0 and for x squared.
No, you wouldn't have to. You wouldn't have to. When you check the roots, you wouldn't have to do that.
question, please. Any juniors or senior athletes that want to go down and see the representative from Athletico, you can go down there now.
All right. Anyone need more time for this one? Okay. Now here's my question. When you did your little chart, your little box, how many different rows were there? How many different rows were there?
One.
There's one option in this problem. Only one. Now, what are the options for how many positive numbers will work on that problem? Zero. Because when you look at that original problem, there's no sign switches. They're all positive numbers going across. So 0 positive numbers. So when I do that real number check, like when I'm doing the zeros, like the rational number check, don't check any positive numbers. There's 0 of them. But negatives. How many negative numbers? One. You'll need to go find one of them. There is one number that will work. Now it could be a decimal, but one real number where it's negative, where it will work. Because when you actually plug in the negatives here, like negative x's, these will stay negative, but that one won't. So there will have to be at least one sign switch from here to here. Okay? And then how many imaginaries? Two. There's only one option of the problem. You have to have it. Okay, so that problem most definitely is probably one of the easier out of the 3 so far. Now, finding what are the potential rational numbers that work, that list is kind of impressive because the number 348 is kind of big. It's not like a small number by any means. All right. Questions, comments about what we've done. Now, here's the question to you. Do you want another one of those where I maybe pick one that's a little bit more challenging like this? Yeah? Sure. Okay, let's do one of those. So I'll give you something a little bit bigger. So there's more options. Okay? All right. Here we go. And this might be the last problem. It seems like you guys got a decent handle on this, but I do want to give you at least one here where you have to actually look at it. All right. Always nervous when I know what's here.
You're good. I had that girl that had 44 years. She's like squirming. The good until they ran it.
Black mamba. A couple of games ago, we went out for theoretically scoring.
You play varsity?
Yes.
I play varsity on Sunday.
They play all of them now. So they all have 2 quarters.
Good.
Because they have, I think, a total of 19 girls out. So they just literally throw a whole roster down. And they'll play for 2 quarters, so they get warmed up.
Really? So they play their varsity girls in the JV game?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
I
no.
use that.
That's cheap.
Yeah, so they get warmed up. They're all ready to go for the first game, so they don't need to warm up as much.
That's cheap.
Against the rules.
Yeah,
This
that's
round.
cheap.
All right. Okay. Do we need a little more time? Okay.
Yeah, I was busy talking.
What's up? Just live a dream. Relax. How many eyes on
how many positive numbers are going to work on this thing? 0. So the reason why, when you first look at this problem, there's 0 sign switches on this original problem. Okay. Now for negatives, on negatives, I count. So if I were to plug in negative x's here, this one will stay positive. This will be negative now. That'll be positive. This will be negative. That'll stay positive. Because I can do this on the fly because I know kind of like when I plug in the negatives, what's going to happen here. This one will switch. That one will stay. That one will switch. That one will stay. So the idea is that when I count the sign switches, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's potential of 4 negatives. Potential. Now, what are your other options? 2 or 0, right? So it looks like I'm going to have 3 rows. Now, how many imaginary will be on the top row? 0, because those numbers are already added to 4. What about this? 2 or 4. So these are our combinations for this one. I don't know which row it is, but by knowing this check, this tells me something. I can throw out half the numbers I was going to type in my calculator when I was doing the rational zero theorem. That's helpful. I'm not wasting time. I know numbers that I need to work on. Okay? I'm betting on, like we're doing the rational zero theorem, I'm betting on at least 1 or 2 negatives are going to work. Just because the options that are here. Okay. Now, do we feel comfortable with that check? Okay, now, here's the thing. On our problems today, what we're going to get, you're getting homework today. You're not going to get like crazy problems with this. I made these up so they have so we have sign switches, we have different combinations. Okay, your problems will be somewhat small, kind of like what I have here in the middle of the board, okay, or that one over there. But here's the problem: you do need to find all the roots on the problem. You have to find all the remaining roots. So on your problems, you're going to have to do the Descartes rule sign to start with. Once you're done with that, then you're going to have to go through and actually find the actual roots for your problem. Like on that list over there, I know that there was 1 positive number. Okay? All right. Questions, comments about what we're going to be doing on the homework today. Now, here's the question to you. Do we need to go through how to find those zeros again and how to solve for the rest of the roots?
I do not think so.
Okay, because we've done that the last one, a couple days ago, so we should be good. All right. Homework today. I want to make this homework due on Friday this week. Do Friday, because I know this one does take a while, especially to find roots and whatnot.
Do Friday next week.
Friday this week. All right. So Friday this week.
This week.
All right. So homework due Friday.
For next week.
Friday and Friday's the 9th.
It's the 9th.
All right. Friday the 9th. All right. Here's your homework. Question? Okay. They were just good notes. Just notes. Okay. All right, here we go. Page 336, 39 through 43 odd. You got a couple you can actually check. 44 through 48 even. And 26 through 32. Now, I know this seems a little goofy. I want you to do those problems in that particular order. So notice I put the 26 and 32 in the back. Do those last. Okay. These first starting ones, make sure you're doing these first. Okay. Read the instructions. See what they ask. If they ask you just to find the roots, find the roots. If they ask you to do Descartes rule sign, do Descartes rule sign. Some of those problems here, they'll have you do almost everything. So they'll have you, okay, find the Descartes rule sign, figure out the roots. So you have to find all the rest. Okay? All right, now, if you need to go get your book, go get your book.
Wait a second.
What?
It's too late, Alex.
Stand up.
I got home. Ravens are number 6. I got home on this late night homework.
It's okay, so it gets like halfway through the movie and then they say vegan and then it's just the end. It just goes so fast. There was one where every time they say the B movie, it
that assignment.
Yeah.
And we read.
I have a lot of honor colors.
Anna, you got your book? What book number you got?
And that's it.
Real
And
fast.
then we
Wait,
get
can I go get my
assignment.
book board?
I told you that. Thanks for listening.
No big deal.
You're welcome.
Go. Get off the phone.
That's a detention.
Come on, you get your book.
Attention.
Check my locker.
Okay, bro. I'm back.
Two.
Uh-uh.
Yeah. Well, what
Pretty
number
good.
four?
32.
Why didn't you just guess that?
Connor, what do you got?
25. No. I actually have a problem. Yeah.
Dude, I joined Ryan's league today.
No. How do you join it? I couldn't find it. I looked it up and I couldn't find it.
Newspaper.
I know, I looked it up and I couldn't find it.
Hey, what does it mean?
How close are you guys?
Were they right on the
For the running one, we
Yeah.
are at, last time I looked,
Look at the top right.
712.
It's only 750, isn't it? To get it.
Believe what you want.
Ryan does set goals, it's funny, people listen to it, they're
There's
like,
one I trust.
what are we supposed to get today? Ryan's like, my gosh, one tonight. And then they do it.
I trust you. Not you.
You gotta help me find it.
I don't know.
Do that.
I don't think you all Ryan's
No. If you get caught, you're gonna use
Did you leave? Dave even left that league too.
I know.
it. Yeah.
I left and then I couldn't find it, so then I joined back.
Game left what? Two spots. Why? Or next up.
To get the players. Well, I left, you know, and I was not being pregnant, and I was so pointless.
So you're gonna be able to run with internet?
Hold on, I'm gonna Snapchat there. So I'm gonna tell Jake, we're gonna be like, I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna be back when you're leaving.
Do it after. I'm like right now, before you're not getting in.
Hey, guys.
Guys, I'm dominant. Come on, get you out. No, that's, I don't know how much I'm up, man. I'm up. Oh, that? 612,000. 100. That's how much I have. Next highest, 599.
Okay.
Make sure we're put names by you.
Make money.
Nope, not great. Join it.
You don't do anything by you.
I'm
Tell me what else you can put in.
Total fan.
actually your firm and everything. I love her.
I'll break it all up. That's what I was hoping you guys
Yeah, I'm like, Milo's so high.
Here, do average level, or average rating.
Because I want to break up like 270 or 348.
Guys, you want
You
some
put
of that?
rank on there? Or right?
Want to see the car I'm getting? I'm selling my Dakota. I want this. Yeah. Good name is show my old Atlas line.
Yeah, I look driving that nice.
It's a New Yorker. Price
How much?
500. What year is it? 79. I could easily sell my Dakota for.
You realize
I know,
there's
I know.
just me stolen from.
It says it's fine. So you drove it everywhere. That's perfect.
Yeah, back in 1979.
No, you drove it last
Hey,
year.
ready? Did you search by using that? Search.
It's a gangster. I did some hydraulics on this thing. Press the button.
Top right the frame and crack it. There's probably so much rust that one
steering's so
I don't
loose
know
that
if
I
that's going
can't
to be
turn.
necessarily the upgrade you're looking for.
It
We're
is
going
the
on
upgrade.
32.
Especially,
Top guys, what?
I could just trade it.
My name is.
I don't think they're going to pick a 3.
Take a look.
What do you drive right now?
I mean, it does me justice on gravel.
What year?
I didn't really whip it around the corners.
Until you
No,
pull
have-
up Rice and go get it up in the cornfield.
Yeah, my car doesn't have enough traction.
Did you hear about
Or
that,
speed.
John?
Bryson slamming the brakes on 60.
Took me a while. Bryce comes out 80 on Bogey's corner right now, Paul, and he rolled into the cornfield. I take that road
Yeah,
every day.
my truck can't go 80.
Sure,
It
Ken.
can't. It's not supposed to go 80,
Jonah, take
so
out
it
the
doesn't.
governor. Jonah, just take out the governor.
What?
No, it's the gears don't shift up.
Yeah, it doesn't shift up.
Oh, I
so-
thought the limiter was.
So the RPMs get like super high if I go over 55, and then it starts to smell bad in my car.
JB, seconds.
Jeez, mine is good.
All I know
I think
is
the fastest I've ever gone on gravel was 35.
I've got 80 on gravel. It's scary. Come on.
Dude.
Going on gravel and really old cars is terrible.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Is Ryan,
Wait, I don't mind going on gravel.
admin or anything
But
like
it's driving for anyone for
The guys that are.
Gravel is like,
So how am I gonna do this?
I go like 85.
I literally got in like 20 minutes after I
Okay, seriously,
I
how
go
does
like
Ryan get all these
85
guys?
on gravel.
Still,
He's spending, I
Every
know he
time
spends
they're
money,
there,
but.
you're gonna get really
spending money on video games is the dumbest thing you can do. One year I dropped like $300 or something.
Yeah, well, this game resets every August. And Ryan is still spending that much money.
How much did you spend on it?
I guarantee you. There's no way.
Jack, how much?
He spent like probably $150 on this game. Ryan.
You could buy a kicking 12-inch sub.
Well, I had 12 minutes.
Actually, I'm pretty
What
sure.
does Ryan
It was very
I'm pretty sure 12-inch subs are like $6. Yeah.
You get a combo for like
True.
you buy like
I-
12 subs.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I do.
Actually, like
Countertop.
7:14, Jack.
Like 2 condoms.
That's
You
what
can
you
get
get.
a kick in
Where's the rat?
Alright, so I brought back your favorite movie.
You could get a kick in 12-inch sub. I'm gonna get a kick in 12.
Oh, it says welcome to
One time,
You can just see you have a nice
No
car.
way.
one time we were riding with Jay Riggins, and he had like his subs in the back of his car, and one of his wires was in like a tight back, and Brady touched it, and it was like, he got shocked, and he was
He
like,
probably killed himself.
he's like, we go back to Cade's, and they like stay the night. The next morning, he said all his muscles were so tight because of like his arm, he could barely move it. It was also like 90.
When they do those wires in a car like that, they have no like, no control on the amperage that goes through those.
That's crazy.
That's the danger with having like wires in the car door, that if it gets loose and it touches the door and you touch the handle, you can literally kill yourself.
At night, he like, the next morning, he woke up after that.
Am I in it?
Oh, my body hurts. It's like, you need some water.
What all happened?
Just like, no. Just laugh. Just there, huh?
Hey, who turned in the sub just a little bit ago?
I'll take it.
Probably we.
They were arguing.
Hey, that looks like mine.
Like, Brady's
Are you
like,
sure?
pouncing on stuff.
Oh wait, no, that's fine, that's fine. Actually,
Really?
I have to do it.
Brady told me he didn't know.
wait, Star, you sure this on mine?
Yeah, no, this one's mine.
No, this is
I'm
a
100%
what?
sure.
Well,
I
comment,
just started
like, sounds like
laughing.
a commented.
Then
Word name. I didn't put her name on my assignment.
No,
I
I don't
know
do
that.
it.
I put her name on my
So,
assignment.
and you will be.
Your handwriting is unnaturally.
I want to name before you guys
fun.
keep. Wait, no, my
We're gonna get that big in some
I
car.
think I would know your
We're not gonna get
Brady's
36,000 yards in 2 hours.
Oh,
Yeah, that's when he started like crying.
Ryan said last night, well, since school's out, let's try to get 5,000 more tonight.
Brady? Right after
We did, actually.
It's like, I wanna go home.
I didn't do anything.
The whole week,
I'm gonna take
the whole
that
week after, the whole year after that, he was
I'm gonna take him and I'm going right back to
No, you should
We're like about
We're on tier 6 to 7 for.
That's
some
what's
hours.
been,
Oh my god.
And the points one, we're up 5.
Oh
Yes, we're.
Dude, I'm game.
And we're almost to 6. You want to stay because it's flashback and legend.
we were at you. It goes like.
And then another legend. And then another player. And another player. I'm staying until I get that Richard Sherman.
We're all like, what? He goes.
Who's the other one?
Oh, that's so funny.
That's Ed.
Is he good? Like, what are his stats?
Wait till Dave gets over this.
I'm
I'm
close to it.
Like, you get out.
I'm not kidding. He left school and he made it one of each still. He comes back the next day.
I need a smaller, I need a description pencil.
I've been going.
It took you till July to get it. I haven't won any.
You got me last year. Last year, what are we doing?
I just want Christmas.
As soon as Christmas comes,
Hey, Mr. Ward, you wanna come on over here?
My iPad.
Ryan's gonna go.
Alright, Mr. Ward. So,
Christmas money.
I
because
did
you
that,
always
I
spend
should
it.
read
Nurse
the
average
average
in
curriculum,
fourth
and
year.
then respect to the signs. Now what am I doing?
Duggars average of 19.7.
Yep.
Running valve 17.7.
Those are the, so I don't need to do the convection, right? You will if you find one.
Echoes 16.7.
After the goal, you find the remaining.
Sam Snyder.
So you gotta check your calculator, see what
Austin
you
Hayes
want.
13.5.
Write it out. And then forget about it. Alright.
Three good guys.
Hey, yeah.
Our next highest guy is
Wait, who's all missing, Cassie?
He's at score and tied.
These are the puzzles.
We got in the hospital?
Yeah.
Johnny,
Hey,
6.8. Dale,
I think
6.0.
I
Hutch,
did
6.0. Myers,
Did you tell me that worked?
5.7.
Okay, what's this for me?
5.8.
These who are
What are we doing this class?
Mine.
Not yet?
Thank God I don't have these.
Oh, Mrs. Breakfast.
Don't we just watch the video?
All we do is
What am
watch
I at?
American
0.7.
Stories last year.
All day, Connor.
Yeah, technology club.
Rams at
You
1.0.
ever feel the same way?
Yeah, last time I had
They're really
actually, no. Because last time we had good shoes in here.
Look
Okay.
at you, you ready?
I had her in
Three
stats.
things.
Right.
1 letter.
0.0.
2 letters.
And I just walked out.
Was that the day her pineapple was in?
And G.
Yeah.
I'm broken
Fine.
here.
I'm counting on them. That's the plan every year. I honestly thought for the first game, I'm like,
2.5.
I was like,
41.
yes.
I'm not gonna call it.
We all knocked on
You
wood.
said negative half.
Halftime, I'm gonna call my girl.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't get it. Wait, what does the lesson have to do with it?
If we have to find
we're not like, oh my God. We got that lead, and then we got comfortable, and then
Negative 5.
No.
we run Nick Joyce speeds.
One option. He's like,
Oh, yeah, 'cause you
we
got
still
45.
need to mix it up.
You're gonna make them all
I'm not
five.
going to competition, so please.
Yeah.
So, beat this up. Give me
Especially in the second or third. Johnny, beat it up. You, Johnny,
We'll
James,
try.
Punch.
I get on break.
You're in your charge.
Maybe we'll try to do it ahead of time.
I was gonna say, because I get on break at 7:30,
Jason, go off.
and I have to be on break back at
He's not
during the pizza.
I'll talk to people tomorrow.
I won't be there.
I don't know if Johnny will this year either.
Now we're gonna score 20. Post speed is
Yeah, I'm joking. Why were you
Post
gonna do
speed
that?
starts at like, you feed the post, then you can get up.
One of us is 30 if we actually feed him the ball.
Well, if we feed Nick like we did yesterday,
I should have 20.
if we feed Nick like we did yesterday, practice on that first transition like that, Nick will have to.
We never run transition.
Well, I'm gonna have that Garrett. We never run anything. I'm gonna have that Garrett Foss on me all night long.
She's never gone.
I think I saw him.
so bad.
He is bad. He's ugly. He's like, I'm feeling one pump fake. He jumps under.
Yep. No,
Tackles him.
Nick's gotta like shoot normal for 2 times in a row, and then after that he'll be in the air the rest of the night. Hell, let's just say it. After I'm done, you might be questioning what car you choose.
Is that real?
Jack, I like what you said. I agree with that.
Don't even think about putting that code. Diet Coke.
Just Coke.
Are you
Let
kidding
me
me?
use that on bagels.
Yeah. You missing something? Oh. I didn't say I was gonna get it back, but you're missing something.
What's yours? Consider it yours.
Alright. I'll have it for you just in case you forget one.
Oh, it's Mama's tonight? We're doing breakfast this year. Yeah, I know. Crazy, right? That's the plan.
Alright. Seth? Yeah. What did he forget? Fair time. So, you want me to hang on that for you, or you want me to? I got it. He's never getting it back. Okay. I said, I think that's what I got. Fair time. That's yours. Thanks for the invite, bro.
Hey, Brooke, what you got? Everyone got their book? Yeah. Are you still with her book? Where's the trailer? You got your book? Hey, Brooke, you get your book.
It's in my
Bravo!
car. It's in my car. I didn't drive today.
Check.
I didn't bring my car today. So my phone was gone.
My car